what we did over the past year wasn't good enough. As the Ethics Commissioner pointed out, those two elements came into conflict in an unfortunate way for which I take full responsibility.
There's an old saying, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So what do we have when it comes to, well, revelations that the RCMP is looking into whether there were criminal activities and obstruction of justice in the SNC-Lavalin affair? We have a duck. We have an investigation. There's all these weird semantic games being played, pushed by the Trudeau Liberals, but then supported by a bunch of people in the media that I don't quite get. Oh, it's not an official investigation. The RCMP haven't said that they're investigating. Let me tell you something. The RCMP do not say we're officially investigating people very often. That doesn't happen. What they have said since the release of the Ethics Commissioner's report into the SNC-Lavalin affair is that they are examining this matter carefully. Why? Not to see if an ethics law was broken. We already know it was. The Ethics Commissioner said so. They're looking to see whether criminal activity happened. Did someone breach the criminal code and obstruct justice by trying to get the then Attorney General to give a sweetheart deal to a company facing bribery and corruption charges? This is a serious issue, folks. This is not partisan chatter. This is not something to be trifled with. This is, did the Prime Minister's office try and give a company a sweetheart deal to get away with bribery and corruption? So, is it an investigation? Here's what we know. Despite the Liberals saying it's not an investigation, despite places like CBC and the Canadian press embarrassing themselves in trying to carry water for the Liberals, we have the police actively seeking documents from the government. We have this confirmed by the Justice Department saying, well, we're not going to grant that larger waiver. That was a decision by the clerk of the Privy Council. We also have that confirmed by the Prime Minister's spokesman, by Justin Trudeau's own spokesman, Cameron Ahmad, before the campaign even began. So we have that. Now we have Jody Wilson-Raybould, the then Attorney General, being interviewed by the police. So what do you call it? When you have police asking for documents, when they're asking for access to information, when they are asking for interviews and sitting down and talking to people, it's called an investigation. Now we know that this investigation has to be put on hold. The RCMP now has a policy that any sensitive political type matters are not investigated during a writ period. Perhaps is that why Justin Trudeau rushed the election call up to Wednesday from Sunday instead? It could be. But the simple fact of the matter is we need to have this investigation to clear the air. Was there criminal wrongdoing or was there not? Instead, we've got this cloud hanging over the whole government's head. Trudeau just wants to ignore it, and much of the media want to pretend it's not a real story. It is. The only way that we're going to get to the bottom of this is if Justin Trudeau loses the coming election, because if he wins, he will shut this down, just like he did with the MPs on the Ethics Committee, just like he did with the Ethics Commissioner and blocking him from getting all the information he needed. He's happy to let this die without proper investigation. If Justin Trudeau wins, this dies without us knowing what happens. It's one of the many reasons why your vote on October 21st is so important.